There was a time I thought I'd never do certain things again, walk unaided, travel freely, work the way I used to, but then I learned something powerful. Maybe the goal isn't to go back, maybe it's to move forward differently. Adaptation isn't the end of your story, it's how the next chapter begins. Welcome to InspireAbility, where every conversation celebrates resilience, faith, and the unbreakable strength of the human spirit. I'm Ruby, and today's episode dives into something we often misunderstand: adaptation. For so long, I equated adapting with giving up. If I couldn't do it the same way, it meant I'd lost something. But over time, I discovered that adaptation isn't about loss, it's about evolution. The truth is, change doesn't destroy your potential, it redirects it. It calls you to discover new ways of living, working, creating, and thriving that align with who you've become. Today, we'll unpack what real adaptation looks like emotionally, practically, and spiritually. Life before my injury had a rhythm, predictable, familiar, but after every movement became an obstacle course, even simple things like dressing, cooking, or commuting demanded new strategies. At first, I fought it. I clung to the memory of what used to be easy, refusing to accept that things had changed. But the more I resisted, the harder life felt. Until one day, I realized adaptation isn't surrender. It's an act of survival. When normal disappears, you build a new one step, one modification, one mindset shift at a time. And that's when life starts to open up again, not the same as before, but still full. There's beauty in small adjustments. They may seem insignificant: a new routine, an assistive device, rearranging your space, but each one is a statement of resilience. You're saying, I will not stop living just because life changed. Adaptation looks different for everyone. For some, it's finding new tools. For others, it's shifting careers, redefining goals, or changing how you measure success. When I could no longer do things the way I once did, I learned to delegate, collaborate, and innovate. And somewhere in that process, I found peace, because adaptation isn't about doing less, it's about doing differently. Society often frames disability or change as limitation, but the truth is, limitations are often the birthplace of innovation. Think about it. Every creative breakthrough, every accessibility tool, every technological advancement came because someone had to adapt. Your limitations don't disqualify you. They refine your genius. They make you resourceful, empathetic, and strategic. I began to see my challenges not as barriers, but as blueprints. Each one invited me to discover a new way, a smarter, kinder, more sustainable way of doing life. And that's the secret. Adaptation transforms weakness into wisdom. Physical adjustments are one thing, emotional adaptation is another. Because when your identity changes, your definition of success must evolve too. Before my accident, success was productivity. Now success is peace, it's purpose. It's presence. That shift took time, but it set me free. You are not what you used to do. You are not what you can no longer perform. You are who you are becoming right now through grace, growth, and grit. Adaptation is emotional resilience in motion. It's saying, even if I can't go back, I can still go on. When I stopped measuring my life by old standards, I realized something beautiful. I wasn't surviving anymore, I was thriving. Not because everything was easy, but because I'd stopped fighting what is. I started flowing with it. Adaptation gave me freedom. Freedom to live without comparison. Freedom to succeed in my own way. Freedom to define joy on new terms. When you adapt, you transcend limitation. You create a new path where none existed. You stop living under old expectations and begin living under grace. Adaptation is not weakness. It's strength in motion, quiet, steady, revolutionary. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to rebuild. And you are allowed to thrive, not despite what happened, but because of what you've learned through it. Every adaptation is a declaration. I choose life. So don't be afraid to change the rhythm. Dance your own dance beautifully, bravely, uniquely you. This is InspireAbility, and I'm Ruby, reminding you that your story doesn't end with limitation. It begins with adaptation.